want to bring in California freshman Senator Alex Padilla, who was just appointed to 5 Senate committees, including Budget, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. Senator, welcome very much. It's very glad to have you here today. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you, Andrea. Good to be back with you.
You on a virtual call. But, I mean, it is a moment. Let's talk, before we talk about the package, let me ask you about your reactions to being part of the ceremony today and the tribute that was paid to Officer Sicknick.
No, absolutely. I wanted to start just by sharing my wife and my condolences with Officer Sicknick's family. You know, it's a tremendously difficult day for them. And what a reminder. I mean, I know we're talking about a lot of issues, the impeachment next week, COVID relief, and so much more. We've seen the tragic results, the fatal results, caused by lies and deception. We saw it in Charlottesville, we've seen it in El Paso, we saw it on the steps and inside the nation's capital. That's got to be acknowledged, it's got to be recognized as we tackle the tremendous issues before us.
And some of those issues, of course, front and center. You were on that call between the president and your caucus on Tuesday. There's talk now that the White House might be willing to compromise by targeting the stimulus checks to lower-income people. That's part of the Republican compromise. Where do you stand on that?
So, look, that's one of the items that was negotiated, but my takeaways from that conversation was clear. We need to act boldly. We need to act urgently. I know there's this debate between, do we want to wait, take longer, and do this on a bipartisan basis? Look, the way we are doing it still leaves the door wide open for Republicans to join us in providing much-needed relief to struggling families across the country, struggling small businesses, state and local governments, and others across the country. It's up to Republicans to choose if they want to do this on a bipartisan basis. But I can tell you, Democrat versus Republican aside, American families cannot afford to wait much longer.
And by much longer, our reporting is that March, early March, maybe March 12th, is a real hard deadline when the current unemployment compensation, the additional unemployment compensation and other benefits will run out.
Yes, look, we have looming deadlines for unemployment benefits to run out for people struggling in this economy. We have, foreclosure and eviction protections that are set to expire. Even though they've been temporarily extended, those are on the horizon, too. But let's just really boil it down, Andrea. Yesterday alone, another 3,700 Americans died because of COVID. If that is not, telling us the urgency with which we need to act, I don't know what will. Just look at the numbers on a daily basis, still a daily 9/11 in terms of fatalities alone, let alone the number of new cases, people struggling in ICUs. We need to act big. We need to act now. And as the president said, the risk is not whether we do too little, too much. It's whether or not we do too little.
And I want to ask you quickly about the new immigration executive actions from the president that surely impact your state, your community. We did see pushback, though, from the ACLU, which has been representing the separated families, saying the families who've been separated for more than a year, even if some have gone back and have been reunited, should be given legal status here as well. The people who suffered so much, the children who have been so damaged, and those families, the parents, should have more attention paid to them. And some of them are being left out of the task force's mandate.
Look, I think the executive orders by the White House are a great start. Undoing President Trump's executive orders of the last 4 years is a great start, but so much more needs to be done to achieve truly comprehensive immigration reform. We must look at a pathway to citizenship for so many of the undocumented people that have been contributing to this nation. Look at the millions of essential workers that have, kept our economy and our healthcare system going through the course of the pandemic. And when it comes to family reunification, here's how I see it, Andrea. If the federal government can find Osama bin Laden, then we can certainly find the missing parents of children and reunite families.
And a path to citizenship, benefits for what they've suffered?
Absolutely, they need health care, mental health care, and support for families who are fleeing violence, maybe fleeing for their very lives, coming to this nation for asylum. Restoring the asylum system is another key element of the Biden proposal, and something that we need to do through this comprehensive package that is long, long overdue.
Senator Alex Padilla, I know you've got to go, but thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Andrea.
that. And